Hi folks, so the question we're going to be going over today, guys, is a question based on the perspective topic, okay? This question itself actually comes from the old Leaving Cert paper based on the technical drawing, okay? It's from the 1996 actual paper from ordinary level, okay? And it says here at the top, figure 1 shows the plan and elevation of a structure, okay? So you can see the elevation here and the plan here. Draw the given plan and make a perspective drawing of the structure when the spectator is 1.6 meters from the corner A. So we can see the corner A down here based on our plan view. The picture plane touching the corner A, okay, and the horizon line is 1.9 meters above the ground line. So there's just some little bits of information there. And then our scale, guys, is 1:20. Okay, so what's important to note about that is essentially what that means is 1 millimeter on our sheet OS is to 20 millimeters in reality. Okay, now okay, so how we're going to actually do that, and you can see here I've put in the measurements and I've kind of worked them out already. Essentially what that means is we divide up, okay, 600 divided by 20, okay, gives us 30, okay, and that's there 30 millimeters then for our sheet scale essentially, okay. 600 millimeters in reality divided by the 20, okay, gives us the 30 millimeters on our sheet. Likewise with 200 divided by 20 is 10 all the way along here, and the same with all these 340, and as you can see there 20, 38, 17, 17, 17 and so on, and then 400 and so on. Okay, now in relation to the scale here, what we have to do is, or sorry, for the spectator view, okay, the spectator is located at a 45-degree angle from corner A, but we have to work out how far that is. So that's 1.6 meters, okay, which is equal to 1,600 millimeters, okay. And if you were to divide that by 20, okay, if I was to divide that by 20, okay, that will actually work out to be 80 millimeters, okay. So if I was just to take off the 0 and the 0, 160 divided by 2 leaves us 80. So that's how we work out that one. And then likewise with the horizon line, 1.9 meters, so I'll just go down here, okay, equals 1,900 millimeters. Once again divided by 20, take off a 0, 190 divided by 2 will leave us, just working that out there, it's going to be 95. Okay, so that's how high the horizon line is above the ground line. Okay, so that's kind of our setup there, guys. Alright, now just on starting these questions, okay, this is probably an old one from, as I said, the old Leaving Cert paper. In other questions that kind of come up in perspectives now, you're often given the 3D graphic, okay, but just in case you're not, this will actually be good practice. Okay, so you're given the elevation and the plan, and what you need to be able to do is to visualize what the 3D version of that or pictorial view of that is going to look like, okay. So you could either do a quick sketch on your page, okay, just by looking at that, but what I've actually done is I have created a SolidWorks model just to show you what it actually looks like. So I'm just going to pop over to that there now. So as we can see here, folks, that there is the actual 3D pictorial view of the object, okay. I haven't put any colors or anything on it like that, okay. So what we can actually see is we've obviously got faces going in similar directions. So this face here, if I was just to select it, is obviously parallel with this face, likewise with all the steps going up, and then all other faces then are kind of going parallel in this direction, and then we obviously have some flat surfaces as well, okay. So we've kind of got this 3-step structure, step here, a step here, and a step here. We have this kind of section underneath where you can see it's obviously kind of hollowed out in this section, which goes over to the back section, okay, over here, and then obviously it's got various heights on it. So as we can see there, if I just go to the elevation view of it, okay, we can see that's what we actually see in our model and the elevation view, where each step is 10 millimeters high, okay. This section here at the front is 40, and the height of it overall is 70, okay. And obviously the plan view then, which is the one that we need to use ourselves, this is what it looks like. So if I just go over there to the not view orientation, the wireframe, and I'll put on my hidden detail, okay, and we can see that hidden edge underneath there, okay, and that edge that's hidden is this little edge inside in here, okay. So that's just a little bit helpful there, guys. So it's quite useful a lot of the time, okay, that you're able to sketch these kind of things as well, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back now and we're going to start the question on the sheet, okay. Right guys, so in starting that question, you can see here I've already drawn in my plan view. Okay, this is based on an A3 sheet, and starting it, I've started the top of it. It's about 15, maybe 20 millimeters down from the top of the page, and it's about 100 millimeters in roughly. Okay, I thought that was a good, you kind of have to have a good guide of where your cone of vision is going to be. Okay, so we'll start that there now. So from the spectator, setup will never change. From the spectator, what we're going to do is we're going to create our cone of vision. So to the furthest left point, and likewise to the furthest right, as we can see there. And that is my cone of vision. Now with my cone of vision, what I want to do is I want to bisect that angle. And what I want to do is I want to create the line of sight, which is in the middle of the cone of vision. Okay, so bisecting this angle. Okay. And drawing in my line of sight. So I usually kind of put it in something like that. Okay, that's my line of sight there. Okay, so as you can see, it's not exactly 45 degrees. Okay, so don't get confused in that. Now what we're going to do is set up our picture plane, which is perpendicular to our line of sight. Okay, so I'm lining up there. I'm going to put the other set square underneath it, rotate it around, and that will be perpendicular to my line of sight. Okay, and I'm going to set up my picture plane that way. And that should be far enough there. Yep, I'm happy with that. So there we go. I'm going to write in picture and then plane up here. And as we said, picture plane passed through the corner A. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up for my vanishing points later on. So my vanishing points are going to go parallel with the direction of the faces. So I've got lots of faces going in this direction, okay, as you can see here and here. Then I've also got lots of faces going in this direction. Okay, so straight from my spectator, I'm going to project up vertically to hit my picture plane there, and likewise horizontally to hit my picture plane there. But what's important to note is that this line here is parallel with all of these lines. Okay, and likewise with this one parallel. Okay, that'll help us locate our vanishing points. Now, what I always do in class, okay, you could do sliding set squares for the next part to set up your ground line and horizon line, but I find the easiest part is what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my sheet. So I'm just going to lift up the masking tape in the corners, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my sheet into a position so that my T-square is in line with my picture plane. Okay, now you can continue on with sliding set squares, but I'm just going to rotate it there so it's in line, and I can make it a little bit more awkward just trying to fit it in the whole screen there, but project it there and move up my T-square. Okay, so the picture plane there is in line with my T-square. So with your masking tape, tape the sheet down again. Okay. So just make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, plenty of masking tape, so it can't move on us, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so my sheet is set down there. So what I'm going to do is, for the purpose of this actual video, okay, I would usually, with my spectator, okay, for the purpose of this video, as you can see based on my screen and my projector, I would usually keep my ground line a nice distance below my spectator, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep it just within shot there. Okay, so my ground line, I'm going to start it about here. Your ground line doesn't have to be any desired length, okay, I usually just know as long as A is fitting with inside it. So there's my ground line, and we worked out earlier that the difference between the ground line and the horizon line was 95 millimeters. So this is actually going to go quite high up towards my picture plane, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so 95 millimeters. So there's my horizon line. Okay, does not matter. Usually, as I said, I keep the ground line a good bit further down, which will bring down my horizon line as well. Okay, so I'll just write that in. So horizon, usually you can just write HL. And what we're going to do now is locate our vanishing points. So at that point there, project it down, and this point here, where these lines had hit the picture plane, project them down, and we can locate now our vanishing points. That point there I'm going to call it VP1, and at this point here, VP2. Okay, so at this point now we're fully set up. Okay, so you've got a good chunk of the marks already there in just setting up the question, getting the plan and getting all the kind of vanishing points, picture plane, ground line set up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start here. Now because corner A is touching the picture plane, I can take that there straight away as a true height. So I'm going to locate corner A on the ground. I'm going to project it down straight. Okay, and right down there I have now found corner A. Okay, write it maybe a little bit higher so it comes into the screen. And up there I know the height of that corner A. If I was just to bring back this sheet here and we treat corner A as this point here, the height of corner A is 10 millimeters. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do there. So I'm going to measure up 10 millimeters right now. Right there. So mark the 10, and I can actually heavy that in. Okay, so that little corner there, I've kind of heavied in there. Now that front face, okay, goes off in this direction. Okay, and it also actually goes off over here to a certain distance. It goes over there before kind of inclines line. Okay, so it's going to go off in this direction to build up that face. Okay, but every one of those faces, or sorry, every one of these steps can be measured off of corner A. So the first step can be measured off of corner A, as can the second, as can the third. Okay, and I'll start that there now. So I've already marked up the 10, so I'm going to mark up another 10 and another 10 for the next two steps. Okay, so 10, and then it'll be 20, and finally 30. So I'll just have them ready. Okay, that's going to help me locating it when it's going back in this direction. But to find this face here, okay, the front face right here, not this bit, but to here, okay, I'm going to vanish over, because the line is going in this direction. I'm going to vanish over to VP2. Okay, and to find where it finishes, I can project this down to my spectator. I always stop it at the picture plane to keep it neat and tidy, because that's the spectator's eye view of it. And from that position there, I can project it down, and I've actually found the front of that step already there, and we're starting to build it up now. Okay, so we just take it face by face. So there's that bit there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work along kind of the face here. Okay, and likewise project it across to my VP1, because my face is going in this direction, and the same with this point. That'll help me determine the front step, and I know the front step finishes here. So likewise, project it down to our spectator, project it up, or project it down, sorry I should say. And now at this point, okay, this is kind of where we're, just to show you there, sorry, before I bring that in, I'll just heavy it in a little bit. I know I can heavy in from here to here, and from here to here. Okay, and the reason I can do that is because if I look at my orthographic views, the front step goes heavy over as far as this point and heavy over here before it goes up, across, up, across. Okay, so that bit there, I've actually found that little bit there before it inclines up here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to start now by vanishing these heights back in this direction to VP1. Because all of these heights could have been measured off of A, okay? They were just extended out. So to VP1, and then I'll extend the next one. Okay, so somewhere along there you can see the steps are starting to take shape. Okay, so at this point, if I wanted to find it, project it down to my spectator, stop it at the picture plane. Likewise with this one. Okay, sorry, next one, which is this guy. Yes, I will need him. Okay, and we can start building the steps now. So the next step is going to be here, and this bit here is actually going underneath into there as far as I know. Okay, and I'll start heavying out these bits now, just starting to build the face slowly. Okay, I can heavy in this now here, and you can see the step starting to take shape. Okay, and where that actually finishes is back here before it rises. So I'll also project him down to my spectator. Where it hits the pitch plane, drop it down, And at that point right here, and just make sure I'm going in the right direction there now. Yep, I'm happy with that. At that point right here, I'm going to stop it. And that's starting to build the face there, as we can see. So it goes here, so the flat surface here, then it drops down to one step, and then it drops down again. And now, just to show you here, we have to locate this point to connect up our inclined line. Okay, so at this point right here, which is at the same height as 20 millimeters high, so it's at the same height as this step here, okay, which is this guy, okay, and that was the underneath part. So right there, that point right there is the one I was looking for, and I connect that up here. And there we have it, okay. And just to finish that off, get this sheet out of the way. I'll project this down a little bit further, because this will actually help me complete almost now the front face, or that side face I should say. So there we have it. Okay, so you can start to see that there now. Okay, and what we want to do is we just want to get, we've got all of this section here now, we've got all of that. Okay, now we want to just get this, this, this. Okay, and the height of that, okay, this section here from A, the height of this bit here is 70, and you have to remember this face here is all on one plane, so I can take all my heights up. So I could take the 10, the 10, the 10, and I can also take the overall height up to here, which is 70. Okay, so just to build that there now, I'll mark up the 70 from A. Right here is my 70, and as you can see there, and at that 70 the face is going in this direction, so I'm going to vanish it back to VP1. And that's going to start helping me now get top points. So I know then here I can heavy this bit up, because that's where it passes through. Now I just want to find the back edge, so I follow that down, hits the picture plane there, project it down, and there we go. And there we have it. Okay, so that there, guys, is the kind of front face here. Okay, and I've kind of got this front part of the step as well. So at this point now, you can actually start to build it up slowly by just vanishing points in the correct direction. So the step here is going in this direction for this point. Okay, so that's going to go from here to VP1. And I'm just going to do it a certain distance, okay? Just to keep my drawing neat and tidy. I'm not going to vanish it the whole way back. I'm just going to bring it about to here, because I know from this point, which is here, it's going to vanish in this direction, which is going to VP2. So I'll go over to VP2, and likewise, okay, I'll extend this one. Didn't have to, but just to show you where the step was. So likewise, heavy that in, heavy this in. Okay, at this point, I now know it goes up, like over here. So project up. Okay, so same thing, I'm going to vanish over to VP2 in this direction. I'm going to stop it there because I know it's goes over to VP2, just to keep it clean, neat and tidy. Heavy in this. Okay, at this point here, likewise with this one where I vanished all the way back, I'm going to also vanish to VP1 because it's going in this direction. So I'm going to vanish over in that direction, and from here where the line is going, where am I now? Yeah, I'm actually back here. Okay, so getting up to the top platform, you can see it's going all the way over to VP2. Okay, so I could extend it again, as I said. Likewise, I'll get this one ready, extend that, and just heavy in the right stuff. And you can see here I'm just building it face by face. Okay, at this point here, like any step, it's going to go up, and then heavy in this bit here. Now, having done that, okay, we're kind of onto that flat platform that's up on the top. So this guy, which we're here now, is going to vanish all the way back to the corner here, which is going to be joining up with this one. So from here I'm going to go VP2, and from here I'm going to go VP1. And you'll see there where they meet, right in here. Now, I did all of that surface, okay? I did all of that structure there without bringing down this point, or this point, okay? Every one of them I didn't bring down, okay? I could if I want, okay? But you don't need to. The only thing is, if you did bring it down, what you're doing is you're just going to check your accuracy, okay? So for the sake of this point right here, okay? Which should be here, okay? If I wanted, I could check my accuracy by projecting that down to my spectator, okay, which is here, projecting it down to my spectator but stopping at my picture plane, and now where it hits the picture plane, it should line up with this. So this would be a good test of your accuracy. Now, we'll just check and we'll see how close I am. I'm not looking too far out, probably about 0.5 mil. So about 0.5 mil there, so that's not too bad, okay? Depending on, obviously, if you're using a sharp pencil, obviously you'll be a little bit more accurate than me. Obviously I'm using biros, okay? Likewise with this point at the back, okay, we can check up. So I just want to see, so if I was to project him up, working backwards, and now I don't know, is it here, so I'm going to go roughly there like that, and from there, that should line up with my spectator. You can see it's close enough, about 0.5 mil once again. Okay, I'm getting close enough, okay? So my accuracy is just a tiny bit out. But other than that, the method is correct. Okay, so now what we're on to is doing this little bit under here. Okay, obviously there's an edge going back there. It's going to go to VP2. So just vanish that over. And having vanished that over, I'm just going to heavy in that bit. So there's a little edge going in back there. Now what we're getting onto, as I said, is finding this guy right here. So I projected him down. It's going to be down along there somewhere. It's up along this face here. But that face there, we've kind of got this L structure. Okay. That's going to go to VP2 because that is going in this direction. Likewise with the back surface. VP2. Okay. And it's obviously going to finish right here. So heavy in that. And heavy in this. Just a little bit far there. Now if I wanted to find the back edge, okay, the back corner, now it's just kind of out of camera shot there, but you can see it here, this back corner, I project that down to my spectator, okay, it's lining up there, really close, so I'm happy with that. It's going to hit back there. So this is where it's getting kind of detailed here now, so you have to be really accurate. Okay. Now I am missing one line, forgot to heavy it in, apologies. Just up here in my plan view, that line there should have been heavy the whole way across because there is an edge there where it slopes down. Okay. Now at that point, these are going to go all the way over here. So from these 2 points here, here and here, okay, they're going in this direction, so they're going to vanish through VP1. Okay, and they're going to meet over here. So I'm going to project this point down to my spectator. Okay, likewise I could do it with this one. Just give me a guide. And as these vanish through, I know they're going to vanish just over to here somewhere like that. Likewise with this one. See the top surface is getting quite detailed here. So for the first one, which is here, follow that down, hits the spectator, so it's off this guy. Where it hits there, project it down. And likewise with this one, project it down. But really, having found this one, I know it should have vanished over to VP2. And you can see it's actually going through it. That's not too bad. Getting it back. There we go. And there is our detail there at the back, and then heavy in this edge here. Okay? And now the final bit then is working on this structure here, which is actually sloping downwards, okay? And if we go to our sheet, we can actually see it. It's sloping downwards, okay? And it's up at a height of 40 millimeters, okay? So the way we can actually do that is, first of all, these 2 points, I'm going to project them down to my spectator, just to have a guide of where they'll be. So that's where it's going to be. And it's going to be out here like this, and this. Okay. So there is a couple of ways we could do it. Okay, we could project down height lines. Okay, so for this guy here, I could project down a height line, and I will do that there in a second now. So I'll actually do that first. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to extend out my picture plane, and by extending down this face here, Okay, I've extended down that face, okay, to touch my picture plane. Where it touches my picture plane, I'm going to extend that down to my ground line. So this is using a height line. I can bring that down to my ground line. Okay, and the height, okay, of this point right up here is 10, 10, 10, 10, is 40 millimeters high. So what I'm going to do now is project up or mark up 40 millimeters for my height line. Okay, so there's my 40 millimeters right there. Okay, that's my height marked up, 40 millimeters high. I'll actually just put it in like that. Okay, 40 millimeters. Okay, that height right there, and because that face is going in this direction, okay, the point here, and we've extended the line down in this direction, we have to vanish it over to VP1. Okay, and if I vanish that the whole way, I could, but what specifically point I'm looking for is this one. So where it cuts through there, that has now given me that point there. Okay, and that's going to be very, very helpful. So at that point there, now I know where it is, I know the height of it. Okay, so just to extend that opposite here, I can now find that kind of edge there, and I know that edge connects up with this. That helps us to determine our slope. Okay, there we have it. Now the next part, okay, is just finding out this little bit here, and I know at this point here it's on this face, which is on the ground. Okay, I could simply just extend that out, and we can see here now that's going to join to there, that's going up here, and the face is going in this direction, so likewise it goes up to VP2. As always, my red lines here are my construction lines. I'm just going to put it in. There we have it. And finally heavy in this. Okay, and just checking that, just making sure. Yeah, okay, so as you can see guys, okay, quite a lot of work in that, okay, just in understanding the surfaces and the faces, okay, but a lot of these points I didn't actually need to bring down. So as you saw here, I was just checking my accuracy on some of these, okay, I was probably half a mil out in one or two of them, okay, but the method is correct, and that's what's important, okay. So as long as you can kind of work your way around the structure and understanding the faces and the direction of the vanishing points and which way to go, and then obviously understanding then height lines, okay. So what was very helpful here was the steps. I could mark them all off the height of A here, because I treated that face there, this structure here, this kind of face here, as one surface, okay. So marked up to 20, then I could find a step back here, because it's all on the one face. And having found these various step heights, then I could actually vanish them back over here to find where they finish over here, by just vanishing in the correct direction. Okay, so that's the question complete there guys. That was the 1996 ordinary level question. There is an advancement on this question for a few years later, where you get into the higher level aspect with auxiliary vanishing points, where they put a roof on the structure and you have to find the auxiliary vanishing points. Okay, so hope you found that helpful guys. That is the question complete.